Dear students, today we are going to discuss the Economic and Social Council of the United Nations. Dear students, the Economic and Social Council is one of the six principal organs of the United Nations. This Economic and Social Council is responsible for promoting international cooperation and development in economic, social, and related fields. Dear students, as you know, that the aim of UN is not only to prevent war and maintain peace, but also to look to the social and economic welfare of the states. The framers of the UN Charter were aware of the fact that international peace and security could not be maintained without the uniform social and economic progress in the world. According to Article 1 of the UN Charter, one of the purposes of the UN is to achieve cooperation among the nations in solving the problems of social, economic, cultural, and humanitarian nature and to encourage and promote respect for the basic human rights and freedoms of the people without any reference to race, language, sex, and religion. Realizing the importance of economic and social conditions for the maintenance of world peace, the UN Charter provides for the establishment of the Economic and Social Council. So, dear students, the establishment of this Economic and Social Council is rooted in the principles of the UN Charter, which aim to promote international cooperation in economic, cultural, social, educational, and health-related matters. Thus, Economic and Social Council was established to provide a platform for promoting collaboration among member states for economic and social development. Now, dear students, we are going to discuss the composition of this Economic and Social Council. It is Article 61 of the UN Charter which deals with the composition of the Economic and Social Council. The membership of Economic and Social Council has been differing from time to time. Originally, there were 18 members, but in 1966 it had 27 members. Amendment to the UN Charter, which came into force in 1973, enlarged the membership to 54. This increasement in the membership of this council has been made to give representation to all regions of the world. The members of this Economic and Social Council are elected by the General Assembly for a term of 3 years. A statutory arrangement is usually followed so that the term of 6 members expire each year. A retiring member is eligible for immediate re-election. Each member of the council shall have one representative and only one vote. Dear students, there exists no criteria for the General Assembly regarding the qualification needed for election of members of this Economic and Social Council. But in practice, the provision is made to provide representation to a variety of social, economic, cultural, and geographical interests. This Economic and Social Council holds regular and special meetings throughout the year to discuss various economic, social, and other related issues. These meetings serve as a platform for member states, representatives of the UN agencies, civil society organizations, and other stakeholders to engage in dialogue, exchange views, and make decisions on matters within this Economic and Social Council's mandate. Dear students, this Economic and Social Council holds different types of meetings, like it holds regular meetings at its headquarters in New York. These meetings go for several days, or these can go for several weeks, depending on the agenda and the topics to be discussed. Regular meetings cover a wide range of issues, including sustainable development, poverty eradication, gender equality, and global health, etc. In addition to its regular meetings, this council may also convene special meetings to address specific issues or crises of urgent concern. Special meetings allow for focused discussions and actions on pressing matters such as responding to humanitarian emergencies, addressing global health problems, or reviewing progress on the implementation of international agreements. This Economic and Social Council also holds high level meetings, summits, and forums to bring together heads of state, government officials, and other leaders to discuss key economic and social challenges and opportunities. These high level gatherings provide a platform for political engagement, policy dialogue, and the mobilization of resources to advance the UN's development agenda. Dear students, these meetings of Economic and Social Council are presided over by the President. This President is the presiding officer of this Council. The President of this Council is elected by its members for a 1 year term. This president plays an important role in guiding the work of Economic and Social Council, facilitating discussions, promoting consensus building, and representing the Council in various international forums. This president also oversees the agenda setting process, chairs meetings, and represents this council in interactions with other UN bodies, member states, and external stakeholders. So, overall, this council's meetings under the leadership of its president serve as an important mechanism for advancing international cooperation, promoting dialogue, and promoting collective action to address global economic, social, and developmental challenges. Now we are going to look at the decision making and voting procedure of this council. Dear students, the United Nations Economic and Social Council follows specific decision making and voting procedures outlined in its rules of procedure. These procedures are designed to ensure transparency, inclusivity, and effective decision making among its member states. Dear students, this Economic and Social Council tries to reach at decisions through consensus. Whenever possible, whenever consensus is possible. Consensus implies general agreement among member states without the need for a formal vote. This approach allows for the wide possible support and reflects the spirit of cooperation and collaboration within this council. If consensus cannot be reached on a particular issue, then this council can resort to a formal voting procedure. The voting procedure in this council is governed by its rules of procedure, which outline the voting rights, voting methods, and majority requirements. Dear students, each member state of this council has one vote. All decisions are made on an equal footing, regardless of the size, regardless of the economic strength of the member states. This ensures the principle of sovereign equality among nations. However, in most cases, decisions in this council are made by a simple majority of the members present and voting. This means that more than half of the votes cast are needed to pass a resolution or decision. Abstentions are not considered as votes cast and do not affect the calculation of the majority. However, some decisions may require a special majority, which is defined as a higher threshold of votes than a simple majority. Special requirements may be specified in this council's rules of procedure or in specific resolutions or decisions. So, dear students, the decision making and voting procedures in this council aim to ensure the effective functioning of the council while upholding the principles of democracy, equality, and transparency among its member states. Now, dear students, we are going to discuss the functions and responsibilities of Economic and Social Council. As I told you, this Economic and Social Council is one of the six principal organs of the United Nations, and it serves as the central forum for discussing, for coordinating international economic, social, and other related issues. Dear students, this council serves as a central platform for coordinating the economic and social policies of member states and specialized agencies of the UN. For example, this council can facilitate discussions on global economic trends and challenges, such as unemployment, poverty, and economic inequality. By bringing together member states, international organizations, and experts, Economic and Social Council promotes coherence in policy responses to these issues. For instance, Economic and Social Council may convene meetings to harmonize national development plans with global development objectives like the Sustainable Development Goals. This another function of this council is to review global economic and social issues. It means Economic and Social Council also conducts reviews and assessments of key economic, social, and environmental issues to provide guidance and recommendations to member states. For example, Economic and Social Council may review progress towards achieving international development goals such as reducing child mortality rates or improving access to education. Through reports, through studies, and expert consultations, this council identifies challenges and best practices, therefore, facilitating peer learning and knowledge sharing among member states. For example, Economic and Social Council's annual high-level political forum on sustainable development reviews progress on the sustainable development goals and shares success stories and lessons learned from different countries. This Economic and Social Council also promotes cooperation among member states, international organizations, and stakeholders to address global economic, social, and environmental challenges. For example, Economic and Social Council provides a platform for dialogue and partnership building on issues like climate change, mitigation, disaster risk reduction, and global health. By convening conferences, workshops, and expert panels, this council promotes collaboration and the exchange of innovative solutions. For example, this Council's Commission on the Status of Women facilitates discussions among governments, NGOs, and advocacy groups to advance gender equality and women's empowerment worldwide. Economic and Social Council also plays a key role in advancing the implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals, which are a set of 17 goals aimed at addressing global challenges and promoting sustainable development by 2030. Economic and Social Council coordinates efforts to mainstream the sustainable development goals into national development plans and policies. It mobilizes resources, promotes partnerships, and tracks progress towards achieving the sustainable development goals. For instance, this Council's Development Cooperation Forum brings together donor and recipient countries to enhance the effectiveness of development assistance and promote mutual accountability. This Economic and Social Council also provides opportunities for civil society organizations, non governmental organizations, and other stakeholders to contribute to its work and participate in the UN process. This Economic and Social Council grants consultative status to NGOs, enabling them to attend Council's meetings, submit written statements, and engage in dialogues with member states. These civil societies and NGOs play an essential role in this Council's work by providing expertise, advocating for marginalized groups, and holding governments accountable. For instance, Economic and Social Council's NGO committee reviews applications for consultative status and recommends accreditation for Economic and Social Council, ensuring that NGOs contribute constructively to UN deliberations. So, dear students, Economic and Social Council serves as an important platform for addressing global economic, social, and environmental challenges, promoting cooperation among member states, and advancing sustainable development for present and future generations. Through its functions and responsibilities, Economic and Social Council contributes to building a more equitable, inclusive, and sustainable world. Dear students, now we are going to discuss the subsidiary bodies and functional commissions of Economic and Social Council. As you know, the United Nations Economic and Social Council depends on various subsidiary bodies and functional commissions to address specific economic, social, and other issues. These bodies play an important role in conducting in depth discussions, research, and policy formulation within their respective areas of focus. First, let us have a look at functional commissions. There are various functional commissions within this council, like Commission for Social Development. This commission focuses on social development issues including poverty eradication, employment, social integration, and disability. And the commission is Commission on the Status of Women. This commission promotes gender equality and women's empowerment. Its main aim is to develop policies to advance women's rights globally. Then there is another commission, Commission on Population and Development. This commission addresses population and development issues including demographic trends, reproductive health, migration, and sustainable development. Then there is another commission, Commission on Crime Prevention and Criminal Justice. This commission develops policies and programs to prevent and combat crime, strengthen criminal justice system, and promote the rule of law at the national and international level. Commission on Science and Technology for Development. This commission plays an important role in development of science and technology, in innovation, in promoting sustainable development, including digitalization, and led to the universal digitalization. In addition to these functional commissions, there are some standing committees within this council, like Committee for Development Policy. This committee provides advice and recommendation to Economic and Social Council on a wide range of development issues, including the least developed countries, landlocked developing countries, and small island developing countries. Then there is another committee, Committee on Non-Governmental Organizations. This committee reviews applications for consultative status within this Economic and Social Council submitted by non-governmental organizations and makes recommendations for approval or denial. Then there is another committee, Committee on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights. This committee monitors the implementation of the International Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights by member states and provides guidance on interpreting and applying the provisions of the covenant. Then there is ad hoc expert groups and task force. Means there are also some ad hoc expert groups and task forces. These groups are established by this council to address emerging issues or specific issues in greater detail. They often include experts from member states, international organizations, and civil society. Their students, Economic and Social Council may also establish advisory boards or panels composed of experts and stakeholders to provide advice and recommendations on specific topics such as sustainable development, financing, social entrepreneurship, or youth engagement. Dear students, these subsidiary bodies, these functional commissions play an important role in supporting this council's work by conducting research, by facilitating discussions, and by developing policy recommendations on a wide range of economic, social, and environmental issues. Through their deliberations and recommendations, they contribute to advancing the goals and objectives of the United Nations and promote inclusive and sustainable development worldwide. Dear students, now we are going to discuss the challenges, criticisms of Economic and Social Council. We have seen that the United Nations Economic and Social Council plays an important role in addressing global economic, social, and environmental issues. But at the same time, it faces many challenges, many criticisms that impact its effectiveness and efficiency. Some of the key challenges and criticisms of this council are like fragmentation and overlapping mandates. As you know, Economic and Social Council oversees a wide range of subsidiary bodies, functional commissions, and ad hoc committees. So, this multiplication of bodies within a body can lead to fragmentation and duplication of efforts. This can result in overlapping mandates, inefficiencies, and a lack of coherence in decision making and policy implementation. Second challenge before this council is limited enforcement mechanism. Unlike some other UN bodies, Economic and Social Council lacks enforcement mechanisms to ensure compliance with its decisions and recommendations. While it can provide guidance and recommendations to member states, but it depends largely on voluntary compliance, which may limit its ability to address pressing global challenges effectively. This council also faces challenge in the form of slow decision-making process. Their students' economic and social council's consensus-based decision-making process can be slow, can be difficult, particularly when dealing with contentious issues or conflicting interests among member states. Delays in decision making may also hinder timely responses to emerging crises and urgent global challenges. This council also faces the challenge of unequal representation and influence. The distribution of seats and voting power within Economic and Social Council may not accurately reflect the current geopolitical realities or the interests of all member states. So, this unequal representation can lead to disparities in influence and decision making outcomes, with certain countries holding more power, more influence. Another challenge which this council faces is limited engagement with civil society. While Economic and Social Council provides a platform to civil society organizations and NGOs to participate in its work, some critics argue that their engagement remains limited and tokenistic. Civil societies and NGOs often face barriers to meaningful participation, such as restrictive accreditation process or limited opportunities to influence decision making. Another challenge is lack of accountability and transparency. Transparency and accountability mechanisms within this council may be insufficient, making it difficult for stakeholders to monitor the council's activities and hold decision makers accountable. Limited transparency in decision making processes and resource allocation can undermine trust and confidence in economic and social council's work. This Economic and Social Council also faces resource constraints, including limited funding and staffing, which can hinder its ability to carry out its mandate effectively. Insufficient resources may also hinder the implementation of programs and activities as well as the capacity to respond to emerging challenges and priorities. So, dear students, addressing these challenges, these criticisms require efforts to strengthen economic and social council's governance structure, enhance transparency and accountability mechanisms, streamline decision making processes, and promote inclusive and equitable participation of all stakeholders. By addressing these issues, Economic and Social Council can better fulfill its mandate to promote international cooperation and advance sustainable development for all. Dear students, now we are going to discuss future prospects and opportunities for this Economic and Social Council. The future prospects and opportunities for this Economic and Social Council are shaped by emerging global challenges, evolving priorities, and the need for innovative approaches to sustainable development. Here, I'm going to discuss some of the areas where Economic and Social Council can play an important role in the coming years. Integration of the Sustainable Development Goals. Economic and Social Council can play an important role in integrating and mainstreaming the Sustainable Development Goals into national development strategies, policies, and programs. So here is an opportunity for this Economic and Social Council to strengthen partnerships with governments, civil society, private sector, and other stakeholders to accelerate progress towards achieving the sustainable development goals by 2030. This Economic and Social Council has also the opportunity to address emerging global challenges such as climate change, digitalization, pandemics, and migration through innovative and collaborative approaches. By convening dialogues, promoting knowledge sharing, and promoting partnerships, Economic and Social Council can facilitate coordinated responses to these challenges and promote sustainable solutions. This Economic and Social Council can also strengthen its engagement with civil society organizations, non governmental organizations, youth groups, and other stakeholders to ensure inclusive and participatory decision making processes. So, opportunities exist for Economic and Social Council to harness the expertise, resources, and innovative ideas of diverse stakeholders to address complex economic, social, and environmental issues. This Economic and Social Council can also use digital technologies and data analytics to enhance monitoring, evaluation, and reporting on progress towards sustainable development goals. So, opportunities exist for this Economic and Social Council to promote digital inclusion, bridge the digital divide, and harness the potential of digital innovation for advancing economic, social, and environmental issues. This Economic and Social Council has also the opportunity to strengthen global cooperation and coordination in response to health emergencies, pandemics, and other public health challenges. Means opportunities are there for Economic and Social Council to promote universal health coverage, strengthen health system, and address social determinants of health to improve health outcomes and well-being for all. This Economic and Social Council can also support efforts to promote inclusive and sustainable economic recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic and build a resilience to future crises. So here is an opportunity for this Economic and Social Council to advocate for policies and investments that promote job creation, social protection, and sustainable livelihood, particularly for vulnerable populations. This Economic and Social Council can also strengthen its efforts to promote gender equality and women's empowerment as fundamental elements of sustainable development. So, opportunities are there for this Economic and Social Council to promote gender responsive policies and investments, address gender based violence, and empower women and girls as agents of change and innovation. So, dear students, we can say that the future prospects and opportunities for Economic and Social Council lie in its ability to adapt to evolving global challenges, mobilize partnerships and resources, and promote innovative and inclusive approaches to sustainable development. By leveraging its convening power and promoting collaboration among diverse stakeholders, Economic and Social Council can contribute to building a more resilient, equitable, and sustainable world for present and future generations. So, dear students, in today's lesson, we have seen the composition, purpose, and functions of the Economic and Social Council. We have also seen the various issues and challenges which it faces, and we have also discussed the various opportunities for the Economic and Social Council to enhance its role and relevance in contemporary period. Thank you.